Hey, welcome back to me yapping on camera for like 15 minutes for the first 3 months of this channel until somehow YouTube somehow like unlocks my channel so that I can make longer videos. At which point I'll start yapping for probably like 30 minutes at a time. Um, Today was really fun. I did a lot. Actually, I realized something, and it was the fact that you can know what I did like on a regular day just by scrolling through the Copilot because like I use it that often. So like as you can tell here, I basically did the newsletter. I plan all my newsletters from the Copilot, so I have like this prompt, and then in the prompt, all I do is I inject the title, I inject some key points that I want to tackle, and then I also inject sort of like who I am, just to like sort of change the way it formats its output. So like I tell them my identity, I tell them how I want them to write basically. So yeah, it's always interesting. And then I also have like other prompts for like getting rid of errors because of course I don't just take this and copy paste it. I look at it and then I find insights and then I use some of those insights to say things in my own way. I think that's the best way to like use AI, just as like a creative assistant more than anything. So yeah, that's exactly what I do. I write my own thing and then ask it to check for errors, and then if it finds any errors, it corrects them. And then I move on, and then I tell it to give me some key takeaways so that I can put that like at the bottom, just as a way of like having people sort of like skim through and then just like find the most important parts before leaving. Like as long as they open it, that's fine. All we care about is open rates. And then I also have like this thing where I have to put images because images perform really well when it comes to Substack newsletters. Like just put an image. If it's like an interesting enough image, it'll get clicks, which is like really interesting how the platform actually works. But yeah, that's basically it. And then I went ahead and I started checking out my X. So as I said before, I'm taking X very seriously. I've always taken X seriously. It's just that I never really had time to invest in it. But now I'm going to make time, by fire or by force. That's a saying from my country, or it might be my continent, who knows. But yeah, I'm going to make time to sort of not only sort of to use X as a platform to like showcase myself, but also to have a way of like sort of contacting the people I want to contact. Because funny enough, the there are like a ton of business people on X now. Like everyone's flooding to X because of the latest stuff that's happening with Elon Musk and everything. Um, and I mean, I have quite a following, and like, yeah, my posts don't really get that much engagement, but that's okay with me because I feel like as long as you post enough, you should be fine. Like, I feel like my goal right now is to have 10K posts out there. That will give me like a good base to stand on and say, yeah, I've been posting for a really long time. So yeah, right now I think there are like probably 10 posts going out every single day. So 10,000 is like 1,000 days, which is about like 3 years. That's a fuckload of time. I'm obviously going to speed up the timelines, of course, right? Like as with anything, just speed up the timelines. Basically, I'm becoming more intentional right now. What I'm doing is sort of posting in business groups, um, effectively just showcasing the stuff that I built. I think that's gonna work. Also, I want to post a specific type of content where it's awareness. So it's like I want to make my target audience gain awareness that they have a problem that they need to be automated. Right? That's like my one thing right now that I need to work on. Like it's a campaign, sort of a content campaign that I'm going to put on X, on these X groups that I'm a part of. So yeah, that should be fun. Beyond that, I want to. Okay, I went ahead and I checked out my automations. So there were a ton of them that were actually like not working properly. Like there was an image generation part that I was using through Hugging Face's inference API, and it turns out like after debugging it for like a frick load of time, it turns out that the model I was trying to use was offline, which is fucking crazy to me. So I just changed the model and then boom, bada bing, it worked. I even added like new parameters just to increase the quality of the generated image, and I'm very happy about how that turned out. So that's why I was like searching for like input tokens and everything, because I was genuinely thinking about switching my generation from the inference API to another source, like OpenAI's new model. That's, I think it's GPT Image One. So yeah, GPT Image One is very powerful, very good, I guess, and it has like tons of documentation on it. So like it's great. But yeah, I even learned about DALI, like as sort of options. I even learned about how to use the inference API through Python. Like it's very interesting, but this is probably as much as you need to understand. It's like how to format your input. It's just the input and then the parameters, basically. It's very very powerful. I ended up sort of figuring out over here with the help of the copilot. Like as I said, my copilot is basically my best friend. I mean, like I text this dude every single day, probably at a rate of like once an hour, because that's just how useful this guy is. I mean, honestly, yeah, I was asking it to like help me format my input through template strings, um, asking it to like sort of debug my Airtable formulas, because okay, I understood that there might be an error if there's no such thing as a last contacted date, right? So if there was a last contacted date, I wanted to make sure that there was no error, right? So that's why what I was doing was this, right? I was saying if it's an error, then give the current date, but if there's no error, give that date. But this one was even more elegant. So like I'm just like I was like wow, I was like oh my god, of course you can just put that in, and if it's null, then it won't count, it will be false. But like yeah, I mean, so cool. um, and of course I was working on the sort of, because like I'm building the agency website right now. So um, that's going very well, to the extent where I feel like I'm practically almost done. When I say almost done, I mean 90%. Like anything beyond this is just an additional thing. I set up a I set up the website to like look good, actually. Like it looks genuinely good right now. Set up all the web content, like the content on the pages and everything, so everything looks really fucking good. I set up a chatbot. I connected the form to an Airtable lead list. Set up all the automations for that, so that like it not only updates the lead in the table, but it also sends an email to any person who's involved, like a person who is sort of in charge of the lead, and also the person who is the lead. So that's actually like the most interesting thing, like when you think about it, how these things get built out. How I built it out, okay, I designed my table so that there is a list of sort of people in my company, and then there's also a list of prospects, which are the people that I'm putting in. But a prospect is just a prospect, so it's like a record of a person. There's also lead tables, so like there's inbound lead, outbound lead, and all of those have more are more tailored towards the communications that I'm having with the prospects, or that anyone in my team is going to be having with the prospects. That's like how I designed it. So it's a bit technical, but like yeah, very very excited how that's going. So basically, this is basically just sending in an email to someone, and I had it come up with this like interesting design. Of course, I didn't like it when I started seeing it, because like it had like this black background, and like the text wasn't even white text; it was just black, which is very annoying. I had to change some things. Generally, very very like happy with how it turned out. So yeah, had it make an email for like the one that's going out to the team member that's involved. Also made an email for the one that's going out to the person, so the lead themselves, just to let them know, hey, I understand that you sent me this message. Thank you for reaching out, and we'll get back to you shortly. My intent is to build an AI voice caller. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. The AI voice caller. Okay, this email is going to come in within a few seconds of them entering the form. The AI voice caller is going to come in 5 minutes afterwards, right? Because they're going to be putting in their number in the form. Hear me out. In those 5 minutes, like I'm making the distance sort of like as short as possible, so not to be creepy, but also to be like able to stay top of mind, and then to immediately just get the booking like immediately. So yeah, um, that's basically my intent with that. Like I just want to book a call as soon as possible, especially if they're qualified. Like especially if they're willing to pay and if the project is actually something that I'm genuinely interested in. So that's why I'm sending an email to myself so that I can immediately qualify them in the table, and then after getting the qualification, it immediately just like boom, sends them a call and be like, hey, this is just whatever, whatever. Like I don't even have the script yet, but like that's just something I'm gonna have to learn, and that's the thing with me. I have no problem learning anything. So yeah, I mean, very excited. And then yeah, this was basically just me learning about how to build the chatbot because I'd never like I built chatbots before, but they were never integrated into websites. So like I had to learn that, which is insane. But I managed it. It's active right now. The it's even like sort of like I rolled out the new version of the website as well on my website. I'm about to put the website up on X after this, which is like so cool. The way like the more I think about it, now all I need to do for the website is just connect the right links because like I want to connect maybe like a proper newsletter link. So I'm gonna connect my Substack over there. Whenever they book a call, I'm gonna be connecting the Calendly link. Or whenever there's the third button, so it should be submitting a form. So whenever they submit a form, that does the automation to the back end and everything. It's today's been one of the most productive days. I don't even understand like what was going on. I was just in this crazy flow state. But yeah, I mean, wow, 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 wow. I did like a ton of shit, just so excited to see where all of this goes because I know it's gonna go in the right direction. And I'm so happy I'm doing this in N8N because like if it was make, I'd be getting billed for every single like node activation. I'd be crying my eyes out. But yeah, I mean, build a chatbot. If I can build a chatbot, then I can probably build like an AI voice caller, right? Yeah, yeah. Shouldn't be that tough. Shouldn't be that difficult. Shouldn't be that difficult. Um, yeah, no, I'm very happy right now. I don't really have too much to say other than anything can happen as long as you put your mind to it. Like to an extent, it's not that I'm capable of learning anything. I tell myself, it's that I tell myself I'm capable, and then I'm capable. Like it's very easy to underestimate your capabilities. So that's why I don't do that. Never again will I underestimate the things I'm capable of. If anything, I'm going to be telling myself I'm capable of a lot of shit from now on. And you are going to have a front row seat to those manifestations, basically. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, which is probably tomorrow.